Hi, how is everybody? Um, so today I thought my marathon is in 3 days, and I thought I would talk about running. Maybe I would do like a before running, and then like during running and after running, and put it all in one video. That could be fun. So this is gonna be all running, no sad stuff, no therapy. Get out of here, therapy. If you don't like running, you can walk slowly away from your computer. Because we talking about running. Okay, what do I want to say? Um, Running is fun. So what am I doing? I'm doing a marathon. I haven't talked at all about running really in my running stuff. I I um I recorded like almost a full video, and the video froze. I try not to keep my face on like here so I don't get distracted by myself like I'm doing right now. But then I put it away and then it froze. So I have to keep it up. But then I'm going to keep looking down at it. I don't know. So, okay. I'll do a recap of all my races, and then talk about the marathon, and then you will go into the marathon and you will be with me running. I'll try to take a video when I'm running. I'll be like, "Oh, I'm running. Whoa. This is so hard." And then afterwards I'll be like, "Running is my new religion. I pray to Kipchoge every night, and I am not depressed anymore because I am an evangelist for the Church of Running, and all my problems are cured." That's what's going to happen. So, a quick recap of my runningness. Started 3 years ago. I did my first 5K. It was like 32 minutes, and I was like, I could do faster than that. And I kind of kept doing running, trying to get faster. I did a 10K, and then I did a 15K Boilermaker. Then I've done like some 5 mile, 10 mile, whatever. I'll maybe show you my board of all my PBs. Maybe I'll take a picture of that. I really like, I don't know. This is something I'll talk about in my longer video, but yeah, it's just fun to like have these times and just be like, I'm going to beat this one, and which one, like having all these different PBs that are like, oh, I can try to beat that one this year, and I could try to beat that one. I could sign up for a race for that one, and look at my app and like my times and how I could beat it and stuff. It's all that stuff is the fun part. The actual running is like whatever, but so yeah, I did the half marathon in New Jersey, the Ocean City half marathon. That's the only half marathon I've ever done. That was last September, and then after that, I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the marathon, and I actually started training for one before I picked one. It's kind of hard to pick. Like, oh, this is gonna be my first marathon. It's got to be a good one, and I got to make sure people are there to support me. And it was pretty stressful to pick because I was like depressed. And I'm like, nobody wants to go to my race, and nobody can. So I picked one in New Jersey so that my parents could go, and so my parents will be there, so I won't do it by myself, which is good. But it's a weird race. It's at this thing called 3 Days at the Fair, and it's more than 3 days, so the name doesn't make any sense, but it's like this weird thing where like on Monday they do like a 24-hour race, and it's like how many laps you can do in 24 hours is the winner, and then Tuesday they do like a 72-hour race or something. But you can do a marathon within any of those days if you want. So I picked Saturday because that's like the best day. But yeah, it's weird. It's not like a normal marathon where you run a course and there's like people there cheering and stuff. It's just like next to like some cows and like poop and farm stuff. I don't know. I don't even know what it's gonna be like. But I told my brother about it, and he's like, oh, so it's like a 1 mile loop, and he's like, that might be hard mentally to like do a 1 mile loop for a marathon. But I was like, well, this is my first marathon, and when you do marathons and when you do races, it's good to have different goals. My first goal is always to have fun. I think I mentioned that here a couple weeks ago, but goal A is have fun. Goal B is just finish. So if I was really doing like a marathon for time, maybe this wouldn't be the best one. But if it's just to finish, it's a good one to do. You don't have to worry about bathrooms or water or anything because it's just a loop. I do have my fueling down. I hear the runners in the audience saying, well, you have to fuel and you have to make sure you... I got it. I got the fueling down. I might even wear my pack. I was like 50-50 on wearing a hydration pack, because that's what I do when I do my long runs. Is I wear, like when I do 20 miles or 19 miles or whatever, I wear a hydration thing. It's just like kind of like a mini backpack with a water thing in it. It's pretty dorky, but... And I've been having my honey stingers. So I've been practicing my fueling. I'm good. Don't worry. This is legit. Running a marathon, even though anybody who does it, like, you're super slow, like I'm gonna be, it's like legit. It takes a lot of work, but also kind of not really. Like, this the thing is, like, it takes a lot of work and like a lot of time. But if you're like me and you have nothing else to do, I mean, like I mentioned before, it's all mental. Just like not wanting to do anything and just be like, oh, so stupid run. I don't care. Nobody cares about anything I'm doing. Nobody likes me. And nobody likes me running. It's stupid. I've been practicing my long runs in the morning. I always have 3 pieces of toast before my really long runs. My shorter runs, I do 2 pieces of toast. Maybe 3 pieces of toast is too many. I don't know. But I'm like, come on, I have 2 pieces of toast? I need 3. 3 pieces of toast is good. I've never had any situation where I had to like poop on the long run. My original goal was to try and do the marathon at a 10:30 mile pace, and then I did the 22 mile run, and I blew out like at mile 19. This is what this video should be. All right, we finally got to the good stuff. I'm gonna start off super slow. I think I'm going to try to just... Originally, I was going to start at an 11-minute pace. I'm going to try to push it a little bit and just see how it feels. Maybe start at 10:45. And if it feels like I'm going too fast, for the first 6 miles, I just got to settle into a marathon pace. And I'm not sure exactly what my marathon pace is. Those last couple long runs are supposed to be kind of like settling into like figuring out what you want your pace to be. But I just blew out like on both of those long runs at the end. So I was like, maybe I'm going too fast, and I was not going very fast. I did 17 miles at a 10-minute and 30 pace in one of my long runs. And so I was like, oh, I think I can do a 10-minute 30. But then I did 19 and I blew out. So I think I have to start at 10 minutes and 50 seconds or 10 minutes and 45 seconds. And if I feel comfortable, like the first 6 miles is supposed to feel boring. Like you're not supposed to feel like you're pushing at all. You're supposed to just basically feel like you're walking. Pretty comfortable until at least the half marathon, especially for me, this is my first one. So 13 miles, you got to stay pretty comfortable. But you, I don't know. I've never done 26, so you don't want to ever push it too hard. So, and then the last 6 miles from 20 miles to 26 is just survival. It's going to be tough. I think I got to start at 10:50 and make sure I never go faster than 10:30. And if I kind of sit between 10:50 and 10:30 for the first 13 miles at least, I'll be like, okay. And if I feel good, like I don't feel too tired, then you get to 18 miles and I don't know. I remember doing one long run where I felt, it was a 20-mile long run. And I felt really good up to 15 miles. I had done almost like a 10:40 pace, I think. And I was feeling good in the 15th mile. And I was like, whoa, I was running faster. I was on Virginia Beach and I was like, whoa, I'm feeling really good. And then mile 17, like, I was like dead. It comes so quick. So you just got to be careful not to overdo it. I think I ran one of those miles close to 10-minute pace. That's like, just always stay under 10:30, over 10:30. So that's my goal. But yeah, the pacing is everything, especially with the long runs. So, okay, I talked way too long. I think I'll probably cut out most of the beginning part and just do the running talk. I just want to get there, man. I avoided injuries. You know, I had some injuries and I didn't get sick, even though couple days ago I swallowed and my throat hurt, and I was like, no, the cold is coming. I'm going to get sick. I still might get sick. I'm flying tomorrow or Thursday. I just want to get on that line. Even when I was a kid, I remember watching people get hurt, like someone on the Yankees breaks his ankle or something, and he would look so sad, and the announcers would be like, "It's so sad that he can't play anymore," and I'd be like, "Hey, that was me. That would be great. Like, I never want to play. I just want to get hurt and sit on the bench. That's better than having to play and all that pressure of doing the thing." But when I hurt my hip flexor playing baseball a couple weeks ago, I felt really sad because I was like, I want to do this run, which is crazy. I've never really felt that about things like this. Yeah, cut out again. I don't know why. So yeah, I really want to do this race. I want to get there. Stand at the line. 3. Okay, this is how we're gonna transition into the race. I'm imagining race day. I'm on the line. Marathoners, on your marks. Good time. I made it back from New Jersey. I just did my marathon. I only took one video in the middle. I thought maybe I would take more videos, but I'll try to play that in between the before and after. Yeah, just in general, the whole weekend and the whole week I was pretty low. I was kind of hoping this video would just be about running. I'll just start with the race, and then I'll talk about mental health stuff later or whatever. But yeah, so I didn't even mention. I technically DNF'd. I didn't finish because the race was, you had to do 26 laps. So you started like a little bit before the loop, 0.2 miles, and then you had to do 26 loops. I did, I think, 22. I'll show my times. Maybe I can show my times up here to get technical with the racing, because that's kind of what I wanted to do. But I think it was around the 17th or the 18th mile, and that's like the mile where people are like, you hit the wall and you didn't feel right, which I probably didn't. So I started to get slower, and I wasn't too worried. I'm like, well, I remember thinking, like, I was kind of sad because I was like, I'm probably not going to get my 440 or my 435. I probably might not even get 445, but I could probably still finish, and that'll be a big deal. You finish a marathon, blah, blah, blah. So I was slowing down, and then around the 20th mile, I was like 11 minutes and 20 seconds, which is really slow for me. Something happened to me that, it's never happened to me during a race, but happened to me like 2 or 3 other times where I couldn't catch my breath. I felt like I was kind of wheezing, and then I was slowing down, and then it always happened to me before when I was finished with a race. Like, I could always keep running, and then once I stopped, I was like, I could breathe. But this time I was slowing down, and when I was slowing down, it was harder to catch my breath, and I was like, that's not really how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to be able to catch your breath more if you slow down. So I got really worried, and I was like, well, I did the thing. I was like, let's just stop for a second. And then once I stopped, I couldn't really breathe, and then my whole body started hurting, and I couldn't run anymore. So I was able to walk another 2 or 3 laps. So I technically, on my phone, did 26 miles, but I didn't finish the course. The 2 big things, which are heat and fueling, and my allergies, like, those are the 3 factors, like allergy/asthma. The heat, I think, actually wasn't as big a factor as maybe people would think, because it did get up to, I mean, if it was like 60 degrees the whole time, I probably would have been better, but I don't think the heat was the thing that really killed me. It started at like 60 degrees, and then when I finished, it was about 75, which is pretty hot for a marathon. So I never expected to DNF. I thought no matter what I could finish, I could walk it. But I had 2 honey stinger packs. Let me get one. So these are the honey stingers. I ate 2 of these while I was running. The total carbs for a pack is 40. I really thought 80 grams of carbs for the marathon would be enough, but maybe not. I'll have to kind of, if I do run another marathon, which I think I'll try to do, because I really want to do it and for myself to feel like I ran a marathon. I did it. I know, like, I told a lot of people, and that was part of why I was sad, because it was like, they asked how I did, and I know nobody cares. They're like, wow, you walked for 5.5 hours? That's like a big deal. So nobody cares, except for me, like how fast I did it or whatever. But yeah, I felt everybody asked me, and I was like, well, I actually didn't finish. But yeah, just for me, my goal, it really was to finish, and I didn't finish. I know I said my goal is to have fun, but I mean, I didn't have fun, so I got to do another one. I did have the inhaler, so I'm not sure exactly how to get my breath better, but I can definitely feel better. I actually thought my water was good, and I wasn't actually overheated, because on the 1 mile loop I could pick up water and pour it on my head, so I stayed pretty cool. So yeah, the only things I can try to do better are figure out the fueling and figure out my asthma. Yeah, I was just wheezing. I was like, and maybe I'll just end with a little bit of mental health and running and stuff. If this is your first video, I've been depressed maybe my whole life, but at least since November. And running has helped me a lot to have a goal, and while I'm running, get out of my head a little bit, because I'm anxious too, so running helps a lot with anxiety. And I had a big goal. Maybe I'll show a picture on my board. 2026, run a marathon. Yeah, I'm trying to I'm trying to almost like end on a hopeful note, but it wasn't. I didn't feel good all week. There is a hopeful note that I could end on where, like, but I'm not going to, because it doesn't feel honest. Where it was the 23rd lap, or the 24th or whatever, and my mom was like, what if I would like walk the last lap with you? Is that okay? And then I was like, yeah. So we walked the last lap, and so if there's anything positive to take away, it's just like I have really good parents. But thinking about my parents can be hard, because I am depressed, and I told them about it, and it hurts them. So it hurts them to see me hurting, and it hurts me to hurt them. So that's like a more dominant feeling. I mean, I want the hopeful feeling to be better, to like overcome that and be like, isn't it so great that your mom walked the last mile with you? I think someday I can appreciate that, and it will be the thing that I remember about the run. But right now it doesn't feel honest for that to end on that, because right now that's not the feeling, and I'm not feeling hopeful. I think I'm definitely feeling better than I did after the race, or even during the race when I stopped, and I started crying like on the 23rd lap, because I'm like, I know I can't finish. And then I started crying, but then I couldn't breathe, because like the crying was like even tightening my throat. So then I was like, okay, stop crying, because you're gonna die if you cry. I would have cried a lot more if I didn't think I would die. Yeah, I don't know. This is a running channel now, maybe, and let's try to run another marathon, I guess, and let's do it for real this time. Let's have another goal, and let's not give up. Feel right this time, and maybe next time don't do the loop-de-loops. And so yeah, I'm not giving up. I still am running, and I feel good. I mean, the day after, I could barely walk, which was interesting, because that's never really happened. Even in my 22-mile run, I was pretty fine the next day, but it's been like 4 days, and I'm still a little bit sore and can barely walk. So I'm going to take another couple days off running, and maybe another week. But if you're a runner or you're not a runner, you can talk to me about running in the comments. What's your next run you're doing? I mean, I need running buddies. Anybody want to run with me? We'll do a race together. Who else here wants to have a goal of running a marathon, and we'll do it together? I'll fly to Alaska and do a marathon with you. Come on, we can do it. Didn't I make it so appealing to do a marathon? It's so fun. You'll cry with your mom. Okay. Smell you later. Bye.